Let's see. Time for a new video. I wonder when the last time I uploaded was. Haha. Oh god. Well, no worries, I'm rested, restored, and back to give you my entirely one-sided opinion, which actually has been kind of hard to come by. See, in between my mother forcing knockoff board games on my family, everything I watched was just meh, neither particularly terrible or good enough to inspire anything. They were all just disappointing in the most boring and one-sentence ways. Too much exposition. I didn't feel invested in the romance. Shallow and ultimately pointless.
Doesn't work well on my PS4.
Just nothing exciting. That is, until I watched one episode of one show that got me more hyped than anything else I watched or played in recent memory. Yes, only one episode. Welcome back to Basic Impressions.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Even though it's only one episode, the episode itself contains spoilers for Talentless Nana. Trust me, it's better if you at least go watch the first episode blind. Alright, all good, let's begin. So, listeners to our podcast,
Which can be found on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and the Google Play Store. Please go check it out. It's Grace. We would love to have you.
would know that I was not the biggest fan of Season 1 of Assassination Classroom. What? First time viewer. I want everyone to just lean in real close. I hated this show. Oh my god. One of my biggest complaints was the underutilization of its characters. You have this large, uniquely designed cast, but aside from like 5 of the kids, you never really learn much about them. You put so much emphasis on them from the OPs into their designs, and you even had some early episodes that targeted specific people, but ultimately, most of them just felt like background dressing. For me, the appeal of a large cast is getting to know each one and figuring out how they all fit and play off each other, especially in battle shows. What is that person like? What traits do they have? I wonder how X and Y would play off each other, both in and out of fights, and so on and so on. It's a great way to flesh out your world. However, large casts present problems. You have to balance developing them enough to feel fleshed out, but not submerging people in just character information. You have to communicate who these people are without overloading on flashbacks or exposition. On the other hand, if you don't develop anyone, it can make characters come off as shallow or one-note archetypes. Throw in a setting of a school with superpowers and you can easily get into this problem even faster. Any seasoned viewer will have these archetypes already in mind when watching. A been there, done that, seen that feeling can come in, and it becomes harder to find anything new to engage with. And this was my exact feeling going into Talentless Nana. Okay, so tell me if you've heard this before. In a secluded spot, there is a school for children with unique and special powers. These kids are gathered together to train, learn, and defeat the enemies of humanity. In our default MC chair, we have our meek, quiet, and, in a surprise twist, talentless Nanao Nakajima. Oh look, we already have the title of the show, great. We are doing the typical first episode roundtable. Oh look, here's the hot-headed bully, white-haired cool ice user, and even the mysterious, ultra-serious back of the classroom but on the other side classmate. So at this point, I'm pretty settled. I know how this goes. Who are the enemies? Why are they here? How did Nanao get in with no powers? I've been down this road many times, but sure, let's see how they spin this. And right on cue, we have our pink-haired, upbeat leading lady, Nana Hiragi, who, unlike Serious Man, loudly tells people of her ability to read minds. Immediately, the show heads into the typical direction. Nana and Nanao are seated together, she's overly into him when no one else is, she gives him attention when no one else will, and they start the beginnings of a typical boy meets girl show. She pushes him to the forefront in the class's election for representative. He's shy and unconfident on the general ways. She uses her mind reading to dive into his main characterness, and we know how this goes. Even when Nana gets attacked on their walk home, we are still in familiar territory. So we have our inciting incident, some mystery, and our cast. Okay, so plot setup complete. We get some more character stuff and our first real change in the type of formula though. Nana admittedly has been very extremely overbearing in her dive into Nanao, and he actually tells her off. Even I, knowing her archetype, was getting tired of her constant persistent questions, so to see the MC respond actually was a change. However, I know it won't last. Look, she even brings back his watch that he left behind. Minor character conflict averted. Let's move on. The fight to become class rep continues. Nanao sits out, well, he can't compete, obviously, and doesn't want to die. The fight goes as expected. Cool Ice Guy wins because Hothead is too rash. Hothead does his best General Zhao impression, and it looks like a disaster, but Good Guy MC comes in and saves the day with, "What's this? He has a talent? Who would have thought?"
What a twist!
So Nanao's thing is that he can negate the powers of others. Ah, I get it. Nanao mentioned before how people generally don't talk about their powers in case the secret alien shapeshifter threat things are among them. As such, he was only playing powerless in order to scout out the school and keep himself safe. He even takes diligent notes like a certain other green-haired MC we know. Okay. So this kid's a thinking man, I get it, and he's going to rise to the top by being more analytical than everybody around him and not rely on his powers. Okay, I see, I get it. Okay, so you've probably maybe recognized by now I have like a hint of irony in my voice. It's kind of hard to keep the charade going for long. There have been obvious signs that something is slightly off with this show, like certain camera angles and lingering shots just give you that sense of unease that like something is up. You and I both know I wouldn't be talking about this episode if there wasn't something new going on, and there is. So Nana, the actual main character, which admittedly I did think was going to happen, I just didn't know how, really doesn't have psychic abilities. She's just very good at reading people and deducing their character motivations and archetypes. She's also very observant and has clear detective abilities, paralleling that to like Batman. She was actually sent here to kill each of the students. The actual enemies of humanity are them due to their unique powers. This is why she came across as so overbearing. It was intentional. She was gathering information. And once she started digging into all the signs that Nanao was giving her, it became clear. Because I had the same questions. Why'd he leave his very expensive looking watch on the table? What's the deal with his sudden mood swing? She even points out how she found out about the cat with the scratches on his neck.
Wait, were those there the whole time? Let's go back. Oh god.
This is how you build a good thriller and mystery series. You present all the details to the audience and allow us to figure things out with the main character. And with her not having any actual mind reading abilities, this actually completely changes the dynamics of the show. We are no longer in super special school shonen, we are in suspense cutthroat mystery box. With Nana having to eliminate the cast, their archetypes will be used against them. As someone who is familiar with this is just very interesting to me and presents new opportunities for storytelling. The mind games being played already has me wondering who will come out on top, because as less and less people show up to class, people are going to be put more and more on guard than they already are. We already know people don't like showing off their powers, so seeing how Nana can deduce what their abilities are and just create those situations, I think it's fascinating. This one episode was already better than anything I had watched or played in the past 2 months. Now, could this show still disappoint me with the rest of the 12 episodes? Yeah, it's possible, but I'm definitely gonna ride this train out to the end.
Also, over the break, one of my friends introduced me to Kuroko's No Basket, and with the English dub now coming out on Netflix, you'll bet I'll be there.